when did the Korean wave first hit you in terms of entertainment, TV, movies, and music?
Hit me as in when I start getting interested in it, or
No,
hit
like
me
when
as
when
in
You
or
first
when you
saw it?
first when you were first aware of it. Do you remember?
Winter Sonata.
Yes.
So the
Okay.
first time I heard of Winter Sonata, because I'm young and everything that my brother says, I just follow.
Like
So whatever.
boo.
So my brother is obviously a Japanese junkie lah. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever he heard of Korean stuff, and then he's like, "You, what they sing? You don't even understand what they say," as if he understands Japanese lah.
Exactly.
So he's like, oh, the language is so horrible. It doesn't sound nice.
Yeah.
Unlike watashi ga, all that's like slightly
It's
more
actually
smoothing.
true. It's actually true.
But
Especially
then
because
the music all and then you start to listen, you're like, tak sedap lah. So yeah lah, like that lah. So I'm like, okay, Winter Sonata is probably trash because it's Korean. But I was wrong.
no, but then back then, all the Korean dramas were dubbed in Chinese, right? I think
Malay also.
Malay also got. Because I remember watching a lot of it on 8TV and TV3, and then very hard to like. So my first Korean drama was Autumn in My Heart. I was Team Autumn in My Heart lah. Okay.
Okay, no
I
worries.
didn't watch Winter Sonata. And then music also, when I was in my teenage years, like early teens, some friends introduced me to Boa, which is like the original queen of K-pop, right?
Yep.
Then I was like, oh, what is this? Music, it sounds so different. And then, I mean, if you hear Japanese and Korean pronunciation, Japanese is typically easier to pick up, right? Because they're
Aiweo, and then everything is just put
like
the
very
words
very
in front.
baku, very easier to pronounce than Korean. So like very hard to pick up when I hear the words also, right? But then I don't know, somehow I got like really into K-pop and K-dramas.
So
Yeah.
would you say Boa has turned you into a Korean
The
junkie?
Python.
Okay, before I continue my Korean
That
nerds,
pun.
right?
So unnecessary.
Anip, you go first. When were you
mean,
first exposed to Korean entertainment?
Honestly, I only know about Winter Sonata, the song. But because the song was
song?
translated into Malay,
Which song?
don't
the
even
Winter
remember.
Sonata song,
Cuba nyanyi sikit.
bagaikan tiang tiada mentari.
Oh,
Na, na,
okay,
na,
okay.
na. So because it was
Yeah.
translated into Malay, so I know like, what is this? Like Winter Sonata. So, what's Winter Sonata? So apparently it's a Korean drama. So I didn't know. I only see the poster before, but everybody was crazy over it. I didn't know.
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. All the aunties,
Yeah.
right?
So
Loved it.
basically, I don't really know Korean drama or what back then. My sister does. I don't. Then the thing that I know about Korean is when I heard Girl Generation. Yeah.
It
So
was
so my
early 2000s, right?
yeah. So I got exposed with Korean stuff is very late ones. Like, oh, Girl Generation. Because the reason why is because they're also pretty. They're like, oh, then
Also
me and my
pretty.
friend,
Yes.
me and my friend were like, oh, I picked this one. Oh, you pick this one. This is mine. Oh, you pick this one. You pick this
Oh
one.
wow,
Something like that.
objectifying
Wait.
women.
Do you remember
wow,
how
so not
many
woke.
of them in Girls' Generation?
9.
Oh,
Yeah, meh?
pandai. Yeah, got 9.
Yes, there's 9. I like.
Now left 8 lah.
Particularly, I like Sunny because she's very cute. She's very, cute.
I'm a Yuna fan.
Oh yeah.
Yuna, I like. Who do I like? I like Taeyeon.
Ugh.
And
She's the most basic one.
Ew,
Sorry, I'm
this,
just
excuse you.
I mean her
Oh my
look lah.
gosh.
Okay.
All the
shit.
Girls' Generation.
Oh my god.
fans.
No more
Okay.
already. Now BTS fan already.
Yeah, I mean like my exposure was with Girls' Generation and after that Super Junior. But I don't like Super Junior because I find it like, yeah, why got like so many of them, like I don't know. It's
You're
like,
wrong. You're wrong. Before
I'm very-
before Super Junior hits, the Chinese people in my school, it's all about
TVXQ, yo.
yes, Dongpang Xinqi, man.
东方小姐.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
knew
got
about
so into
TVXQ
them.
after Super Junior because I didn't know anyone else. It's like I just know Girl Generation after that Super Junior. Then the Monchinki is like when my friend really introduced me to Korean stuff, right? To like Running Man, all that. Then I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, okay, this is quite interesting. Hmm.
Okay,
Nice.
let me tell you
Oh,
about
Okay, okay,
my
okay, okay,
Korean
okay, okay.
way.
Your turn. Okay, go.
your
Okay.
Korean way.
Lai.
The
Top.
first one, because okay, when I was in Chinese school, everybody's watching Taiwanese dramas, right? So we all like Meteor Garden fans and all that,
Meteor Garden.
So that was the F4 phase, last time fangirl over F4. Then
Can I sing the
when
song?
which one?
陪你
陪你
去
去
看
看流
流星。Okay, no, it's
星。
okay. Cut,
Okay.
My
cut,
sister
cut.
said I look like one of the F4.
Bullshit. She lied. I'm sorry.
Which one?
But she was lying to you. She's obviously trying to make you feel better.
So then when K drama, like I mentioned, my first K drama was Autumn in My Heart. Then after that, my friend introduced me to Boa. Then back then got Xinhua, It's like if TVXQ's even
older
earlier.
than TPX.
Yeah. So they were the first generation. So like a typical boy band kind of music lah. But it was very nice. I remember somehow when we were young, right? And then we didn't have the luxury of young people these days, Spotify and all that.
YouTube.
And then Korean music wasn't playing on the radio at the time. So our only way was, LimeWire or Kazaa lah. LimeWire or Kazaa. So I downloaded a lot of
Oh my God,
Korean
LimeWire.
music. Yeah, okay, this is illegal, but back then we had no choice. Okay, we're poor children. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it just brings back memories, like
Yeah.
and
So
all that
somehow
thing.
I just discovered more and more K-pop from then. I think no YouTube yet. Yeah. So it's discovered more and more K-pop singers. And then suddenly one year, I think when I was 15, Full House, the K-drama featuring Rain, hit Malaysia. And then at the same time, the same year also, Rain punya album also became super duper famous. So Rain became like super famous. Then I became a super fan girl of Rain. I like stalk him everywhere.
Rain.
I bought all the Chinese magazine with Rain inside. And then oh my gosh. So I was the resident K-pop fan in the school, So I remember I would last time we had to carry those plastic folders to school to put extra papers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I had a picture of Rain laminated and then put in front of the plastic folder,
Wow.
I proudly walk around school with that.
It's like, I'm a fan. I'm like a
I'm
super
a
fan.
fan. I'm a fan,
Like if
And
I was
then-
a girl, I'd probably have this. And I was like, I'm a fan.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of really started my whole journey with K-pop and
Korea.
Korean drama. I just started watching so many Korean dramas. And then I followed the Korean dramas from the time when they were dubbed in Chinese until the first time I watched it in Korean. Korean is, I think, definitely Full House. Like a bunch of friends, right, downloaded it illegally, the whole drama, and then burned it into CDs and we just pass around,
Burn it into CDs, huh?
Burn into CD.
burn to CD and
Wow.
pass around.
Police.
Hey, this was how many years
This one,
ago?
Why
This
should
this
you
one at
buy
Pasar
the
Malam,
original disc and not the DVD-R?
We don't even know
This
where
one
to
at Pasar
buy
Malam
back
selling one.
then.
This one. Pasar Malam.
And then,
you print out and then you put the thing on it and then you sell.
No, I remember-
Finding it.
I remember that was like some of my like church church friends lah. Okay, when we were younger, even the
Church
guys,
people doing
the
illegal
guy
shit.
all lion, guys all lion Full House also, And the funny thing was, the first batch that we watched didn't have subtitles at all. So all of us watched all the episodes, right? Just lion and they didn't know what they were talking about. And then had to
Wow.
wait. And then when the subtitles came out, only like, So I remember that was
what they meant.
So that was the first time I actually full on heard how Koreans sound like when they talk. Then after that, they just transitioned into like TVXQ lor. Then I became like super fan of TVXQ. Then because of TVXQ, because K-pop idols back then, they were very, even now lah, they're very active on variety shows, right? So they were on a lot of variety shows, even Super Junior. Then I got introduced into Korean variety shows. Are y'all listening or not?
Yes, we're listening. We're reacting to your story. You said TVAQ.
Yeah,
the moment you
TVXQ.
say something,
You said
we will
Super
dance.
Junior, we're like,
Yeah, then I started. Then okay, this is quite sad lah. When I was
Okay,
in
okay.
school, right, I think halfway through secondary school, my parents just decided to stop our internet. So I didn't have internet until I went to college. Also, I didn't really have internet. I had to always borrow my neighbor's house. So you know what I did? I went to college. I looked for all those websites that were streaming those variety shows, right? And then I downloaded it one by one. Downloaded, burn it into my CD.
In
DVD.
college.
Yeah, in college.
So
I used
what
the
college are
library.
we talking about?
Doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, library can use the internet. No problem at that time. So downloaded that time got YouTube already. So I watched on YouTube. So I downloaded, then I watched in my CD, go home only watch without internet, watch offline. So that's when I got introduced into those old school Korean variety shows like X-Men.
Oh, X-Men.
X-Men is like two generations before Running Man. So the same style.
I know.
Then X-Men, I watched a lot of it because I loved all the K-pop idols, right? And then so that was my journey. That's still until today. But today I'm not so into K-pop lah. Then you got, the second generation wave, Big Bang, 2PM, Girls' Generation.
I have to tell you my story. Okay,
Yeah.
my story is very simple.
Yes.
So I did not like K-pop. My college, this Chinese girls because at that time the what do you call it, what's that, Super Junior and Tompang Shinki or whatever you call it,
Yes.
all famous
Tompang
already. So,
Shinki.
and then I was
Dongbang
like,
Shinki.
and I'm like, man, those are trash, Get yourself into the Japanese songs because that shit trash. Anyways, and then the moment Big Bang hit,
Oh,
and then I'm still like in denial. Like I was like, Psh, I've heard that music. It was trash. But at home, I was like literally singing to it. We don't need to get into that. Anyways, so the moment we had Spotify, not even Spotify, fuck it, like YouTube. So after like probably 2 years of college, then start binging Big Bang. And then the moment Running Man came out, it was like Running Man every day. And then it's like, before Running Man, there's like family outing.
The outing.
yes.
Family outing. So it's like,
I love family
fuck it,
outing.
watch Family Outing. And then it was like, oh my god, that's where, Song Ji Hyo's episode. Oh, it's like,
Yeah.
There's another
then-
one you forgot to watch, is it?
There's
Muhan
another one.
Dejon.
No, I've never watched
Infinite
that.
Challenge.
Infinite
No,
Challenge.
I've never, I don't watch Infinite Challenge.
Oh, that one is so
sorry.
really good.
I only watch two things. Yeah, just Family Outing and Running Man. So anything with Yoo Jae-suk in it, I probably watch.
Yeah, Yoo Jae-suk is really, even in X-Men, he was in X-Men,
Yeah. So
back then, that's why it was
so
super funny, really.
the moment, okay, wait. So the moment
You
I watched
okay?
Running Man, Kim Jong-kook was, kind of a hit lah. So
Yes.
I googled Kim Jong-kook and then people said like, he's a singer. Then you listen to his song, it's like, damn, Kim Jong-kook, he doesn't sound like his body. It's like, he sounds different. Why does he sound like that? He should be sounding like, yo, yeah, this is the rap game. Yeah. It's like,
Supposed to
it's
be
like,
deep, but not deep.
He has a nickname, nickname called
Mosquito
voice.
Mosquito voice.
Mosquito Boy.
That shit was the best though. Yeah. So Big Bang and a little bit of GG lah. A little bit of GG. So I was doing the dance song. Doing the dance.
That dance.